Last year, Albert Bouchard finally released his version of Imaginos. This was titled ReImaginos. In my opinion, the album was a masterpiece of sublime musicianship, superb songs, all in all, a magical record. If you go on the channel, you'll find my review and a summing up of the Imaginos story so far. Imaginos was originally the brainchild of Blue Oyster Cults manager and in effect sixth member of the band, Sandy Pearlman. It's a sprawling, twisting story that many people have tried to give an explanation for, but I feel I'll leave this to Sandy Pearlman. Imaginos, a bedtime story for the children of the damned. From a dream world paralleling our Earth in time and space, the invisible ones have sent an agent who will dream the dream of history. With limitless power, he becomes the greatest actor of the 19th century. Taking on many disguises, he places himself at pivotal junctures in history, continually altering its course and testing our ability to respond to the challenge of evil. At one point, the Imaginos saga was going to be 3 double albums, part 1, 2 and 3. Though that never came to fruition, parts of Imaginos have been used as song material by the Blue Oyster Cult for many years. ReImaginos did very well. In terms of sales, it managed to get into the Billboard Top 200 and critical reception was very good, though a few Blue Oyster Cult fans couldn't take to Albert's interpretations of some band classics. The success of the album has allowed Albert to look towards putting out part 2 in October 2021. The title will be Bombs Over Germany -0 and Counting. Some of the original themes for Imaginos Part 2 were World War II, the massive advances in technology that war brought, and the destructive power of rock and roll. While doing the research for this video, I came across a very interesting interview with Sandy Pearlman, how he explains the influence of the Second World War on heavy metal music. That sounds far-fetched, I know, but when you hear the interview, which I'll cover in another video, it all kind of makes sense. Albert did send me a list of songs he had in mind for the project, subject to change. So let's have a look at these tracks and see how they might fit together in the Imaginos saga. Ode on life itself. I never would have thought this was part of Imaginos, but have a look at the lyrics, the opening verse. How could I fool you? I rest and assure you. Take it off from here and put you on the line. Your back to the pistol and iron bullets whistle. The landscape's open and the world is mine. It's still mine. Or this, then the mouth of the cave will open up wide. Wide as the world, that's mine, it's still mine. That sounds to me like battlefields and power-mad dictators. But we'll see. Track 2, Quicklime Girl. Now, this has always come across to me as a song about a female serial killer. How it fits in, I have no idea. Maybe the lyrics have changed. Track 3, 7 Screaming Disbusters. Way back in the 70s, when the band were asked the meaning of this track, they said it was a reference to male genitalia. But remember the references in the first part of Imaginos to the invisible ones. 7 sleepers, 7 sages, 7 stars. First verse. They held their heads with laughs of pain. They learned from men who just refrain from glancing at a mirror's face. 7 screaming disbusters who lurk behind the rose. Cast iron for a bloodstream and ice behind their eyes. Bury me near the secret cave so they'll not know the way. Bury me there behind the rose so they'll not rile my grave. I'll not reveal whose name's still lost. Now to me the whole song seems like the invisible ones have got really angry and they're going to wreak vengeance on someone or something, but we'll see how that unfolds in part 2. Next track, Port Jefferson. Now If you delve into the Imaginos saga, there's some very weird bits. There's some bits where the whole thing seems to take on a life of its own. And if you delve into it, you seem to go down these kind of rabbit holes. Port Jefferson is one of those. Right, now the original track was an autobiographical track written by Buck Dharma, which was played by the Soft White Underbelly, an early incarnation of the Blue Oyster Cult. But you will find there are many reports of the Blue Oyster Cult playing their very first gig in a pub, you've guessed it, in Port Jefferson, New York. But stranger still, when Albert Bouchard recorded the basic demos for the original Imaginos album back in 1982, they were recorded at the Boogie Hotel and Studio owned by the band Foghat in Port Jefferson, New York. Next up, Independence Day. I know nothing about this, nothing at all. It could be another new song, or it could be an old Blue Oyster Cult song with a different title. Next track will be Bombs Over Germany. Now I have a feeling, an intuition, that this will be an expanded version of ME 262. A bit like the Blue Oyster Cult. The track The Blue Oyster Cult was an expanded version of Subhuman. Now ME 262 first appeared on the Blue Oyster Cult album, the 1974 Blue Oyster Cult album, Secret Treaties. Now, for those who don't know, a secret treaty is an international agreement in which the contracting countries have agreed to conceal the treaty's existence or substance from other countries and the public. Such a commitment to keep the agreement secret may be contained in the instrument itself or in a separate agreement. Joe Bouchard has said that the cover of the album had something to do with Nazis in Argentina. So many Nazi war criminals escaped to Argentina. Was that due to some secret treaty? ReImaginos' curious, albeit simply titled book, The Origins of a World War, spoke in terms of secret treaties, drawn up between the ambassadors from Plutonia and Destinova, the foreign minister. These treaties founded a secret science from the stars, astronomy, the career of evil. Many Blue Oyster Cult fans over the years have searched in vain for ReImaginos' book, The Origins of a World War. It doesn't exist. It's just a figment of Sandy Pearlman's immense imagination. Next up, we have The Red and the Black. How this fits in with its lyrics about the Canadian mounted police and sadomasochism, I have no idea. The only connection I can find is the obvious one, to the Nazi flag. A black swastika on a red background. And then we have The Three Sisters and Queens Boulevard. Queens Boulevard was written by Sandy Pearlman and Alan Lanier, and it was about the death of the classic American motorcycle and the joys of driving down said boulevard. Again, it's a mystery. Next up, When the War Comes. Now this was originally released on Club Ninja, the 10th Blue Oyster Cult studio album, and it fits in perfectly. Have a listen to the lyrics. When the bones of our oppressors are turned to dust, and the cause that we serve rules the world, in a vision, visitation, all hail the revolution. Armies of the past retreat in the wake of revolution. A journey to the country of the fourth dimension. Spectacle of awakening light. The soldiers are baffled, but still they fight. Now the last track we have is Half-Life Time. This was supposedly reworked for the Blue Oyster Cult song Shadow of California from their 1983 album The Revolution by Night. Part of the magic of the Blue Oyster Cult, for me personally, is that the songs are so open to various interpretations. They are full of mystery and red herrings, blue herrings, green herrings. Maybe, just maybe, Albert Bouchard's Imaginos might clear up some of the mystery of these bizarre but beautiful songs. So that's all I know for now. But if ReImaginos is anything to go by, you can bank on the tracks that do make it onto the finished album will have Mr. Bouchard's unique musical invention all over them. But thanks for listening. Please subscribe to the channel. Every subscription is appreciated and valued. But most of all, and most importantly, stay safe, stay well, stay happy, and I'll see you in the next video.